Joining us is Linda Mcmullen, the Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Manama with Bahrain this week. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you, Raji. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to speak to the readers of Bahrain this week about you, the person, and as a PAO. To begin with, take us through your role and responsibilities as a Public Affairs Officer at the Embassy.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and to your audience. So as a public affairs officer, I'm part of a 12-person team here at the Embassy. So we have 4 Americans and 8 Bahrainis in our section. And our job is public engagement. So we run all of the Embassy's public engagement mechanisms. And what that looks like is we are responsible for engagement with the press, that's the traditional press, radio, TV, social media, for the embassy itself and for any Washington visitors who may come and visit us here. We also have a very, very robust cultural portfolio, cultural and educational exchanges. We have exchanges that bring Americans to Bahrain and send Bahrainis to the United States on a range of programs. And those programs are available for everyone from teens through professionals. We also run at the Embassy a small grants program. And this program is specifically designed to promote U.S.-Bahrain relations. So individuals or organizations in the United States or in Bahrain can apply for competitive funding for projects that bring our countries closer together. And we also run a very robust suite of English language programs. We support training for teachers and we support resources for English language learners. So my job is basically to promote people-to-people ties. It's really the most joyous job at the Embassy.
I love that way you put it as a joyous job, but I can see you have a plate full, isn't it? And the whole list that you just, I'm sure we cannot cover the entire thing in such a short time of an interview, but then it's lovely to hear the engagement. But Linda, tell us, what are the strategies that you have in place to initiate these programs? Of course, there are several programs, especially the cultural and the educational programs, focusing on the youth, isn't it? So do you have any specific pattern, or are there regular programs that you execute every year? Are there new programs coming up? Do you line them specifically for a time and period? How does it work?
Sure thing. So I would say that we reach out to a range of audiences, and of course our youth audience is very, very important and dear to us.
Yes.
But we make a point of reaching out to all Bahrainis through our programs, through our cultural and educational exchanges. And we have some programs that repeat from year to year, and we also try to develop new and innovative programs with our program partners as well. So I would like to highlight that we really work with a large range of partners. So we work with the Bahraini government, for example, very closely. So 2 of our major programs with the government have been our collaboration with the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities, or BACA, on the Brassaholics program. We were pleased to have an American jazz funk group here in March.
Interesting.
Yes, and it was an opportunity to highlight a really unique part of American culture with jazz, to showcase that for Bahrainis from all walks of life, for students, and to work with BACA on the Spring of Culture was really a unique and important experience for us. And we work, of course, with the Ministry of Youth Affairs as well. We've worked with them for 2 consecutive years on a program called Project Documentaries, where we give aspiring filmmakers a chance to learn concrete skills from American professionals so that they can produce their own short films from concept to completion.
All right.
And I'm really proud to say that one of the groups this year actually won prizes at Cannes, the film festival.
Oh, interesting.
So
good.
We were so proud to see that happen. We also work with local organizations. We had a wonderful program in the winter into the spring of this year with the Bahrain Journalists Association, Bahrain has a lot of talented journalists like yourself.
Thank you.
But some of them want to improve their English language skills so that they can deepen their research capabilities and their reporting. So we brought in an American expert to work with journalists, and this expert had herself been a journalist and is now an English teacher. So she was able to really work on professional development across. This year, we were pleased to work with the Ministry of Youth Affairs for a second time on project documentaries. And this is a program that gives an opportunity for 18 aspiring Bahraini filmmakers to work with American filmmaking experts on making their own short films. And that's everything from concept to completion.
Okay.
So we were really pleased to see the collaboration with the ministry on this program. And in addition to that, one short film that came out of this year's program actually won a prize at Cannes, the International Film Festival.
Very good.
So we were really, really proud of that team and of all the participants. So we also work with local organizations. We work, for example, with the Bahrain Journalists Association. A lot of talented journalists exist in Bahrain, like yourself.
Thank you.
But some of them, want to deepen their English language skills. So we brought an American expert who used to be a journalist herself and is now an English teacher to work with journalists who wanted to deepen their English language writing and research skills and to build their capacity in those areas. And we had a very successful collaboration with them. We also work with local organizations like Bahrain Mobility International. That's an organization that supports people with movement disabilities. And we've worked with that organization on everything from film programs to exchanges to a program to build capacity on occupational therapy. So we're really proud of the work that we've done there.
And I think of late you've also engaged with a project with the Hope Fund, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. We did a project with the Hope Fund this year. We were able to bring Priceline founder Jeff Hoffman to Bahrain to participate in the season 3 of Bibon this year, which was a fabulous opportunity. I think the participants benefited, and I think he really enjoyed the experience, and we had excellent collaboration with the Hope Fund.
Right. And Linda, when you are talking about all these programs, one thing what comes to my mind, you and me, we call this country our second home, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's Bahrain's that abundance and the generosity with which they open all of us into this country is what is enabling people like you to engage in this people-to-people initiatives. Do you agree with me?
I absolutely agree with you, Raji. I feel like Bahrain is my second home.
Isn't it?
Absolutely. This is my 5th overseas post, and I just feel so warmly welcomed and part of the community here. And, both personally and as a representative of the U.S. Embassy, I feel like wherever I go and wherever my family goes and wherever my colleagues and I go together, we have an opportunity to deepen these people-to-people ties because people are interested in forging real partnerships that are beneficial for both sides.
That's right. And Linda, something very important is I think people or youngsters, they want to study in the US, that's kind of most of the youngsters, they cherish this dream. Why don't you take us through some of those scholarship programs that the US Embassy, through which they can facilitate that scholarship in a layman's term, so that it reaches out a little more?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So for those who are really interested in studying in the United States, we have...
We're talking of Bahrainis, right?
Yes, Bahrainis.
Bahrainis, yeah.
We have a few programs to highlight. One is the YES program. This particular program allows high school students to spend an academic year in the United States studying at American school, living with an American host family, and really soaking up the culture. And we're going to be advertising for that program very soon.
Okay.
So for those who are a little bit further along in their academic careers, we also offer 2 shorter programs for university students. One is the MEPI Student Leaders Program, which is a 6-week summer exchange for university students who are really interested in volunteerism and civic engagement. And it'll build their leadership skills as well as their opportunities to, engage and support their communities. The other exchange that we have for the university is the Global Undergraduate Exchange that will allow a Bahraini student to study in the United States at a U.S. university for a semester as part of a student exchange program, which is lovely. And then for our postgraduates who want to, say, continue their studies in the United States with a master's degree, we have the Fulbright Foreign Student Program. And I think many people are familiar with the Fulbright.
The Fulbright, yes.
But this program was explicitly designed to further people-to-people ties. So participants get a fully funded 2-year master's degree in the United States in any field of their choosing outside of medicine or laboratory work.
Interesting. I'm sure the students out there would be eager to grasp these opportunities. And thus said, Linda, you took us through a wide range of the programs that the embassy offers. One question would be, how do you, in your perspective, these programs and initiatives contribute to the even otherwise beautiful friendship between the two countries, the US and Bahrain, enhancing the bilateral ties? How do you think they contribute to it?
Well, for us, we think that these programs are integral to our bilateral ties. Our ambassador frequently notes that the relationship between Bahrain and the United States began with people-to-people ties. And while we have robust relationships in other areas, that's really an important element for us that remains. So I think how this contributes to bilateral ties is that all of the exchanges that we do are intended to be beneficial for both sides, to build human connection, to build cultural understanding, and to build networks and to build concrete skills. So we find that our programs are not only personally enriching, but also contribute to people's development in their ability to either advance in their careers or to find new jobs and new opportunities. And I would like to say a word here about our alumni. We have a large number of Bahrainis who have participated in our programs over the years. And a lot of them have gone on to do stellar work in the government, in business, in journalism, in the arts, and in a variety of fields. And our ability to maintain that connection with people who have participated in our program also helps our relationship stay strong.
Right. Yes. And Linda, it is really nice that you took us through all these programs, which perhaps, many out there would not be otherwise knowing, especially the scholarship programs. And maybe before we wind up, one last question. You said the other way around as well, right? The Americans coming down here. Could you please explain some of those programs as well?
I would be delighted to. So we have, for example, this year, 6 Americans who will be coming to Bahrain under 2 different programs. 4 of them will be coming under the auspices of the Fulbright program. They'll be participating in research. They'll be teaching English under the Fulbright program, and they'll be teaching at the universities here. So we've got a wide range of activities, and they're all working in different fields with different institutions. And I'd like to highlight that we've seen some recent success with our Fulbright exchange. One of our participants last year, who was at the Royal College of Surgeons, Ireland, was part of a research team that just won a prize at the University of Sharjah and brought 20,000 dirhams in research funds to the university. So we're really proud of that. But it shows how these collaborations go on. Our other 2 exchange program participants this year are English language fellows. So they'll be spending an entire academic year teaching English and acting as English professors at the universities, but also supporting student engagement in other programs. One of our English language fellows actually was at Arab Open University last year. And both she and the university were so happy with the collaboration that they're repeating it again this year.
Okay, yeah, that's a real testament, isn't it? Linda, how long have you been in Bahrain?
I have been here 2 years, and those 2 years have seemed very, very short. I love being here.
I was about to ask that question, yeah. Tell me more about it.
Well, I feel very much at home here. I like Bahrain. I like Bahrainis. The expatriate community is very robust. I find that people here are just warm and welcoming and ready to engage, and I really couldn't ask for a better place to work.
Thank you very much, Linda. Thanks for taking us through your programs, the projects, and your role, and your final remarks or comments to the readers of the Bahrain this week, please.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you again for giving us this opportunity. And for your audience, I would just like to share that, you know, the United States is a friend and partner to Bahrain. Of course, we have a very robust and deep security relationship, and we have a very deep and long-standing economic relationship that's supported by the Free Trade Agreement. And sort of underpinning all of that are our people-to-people ties that we feel are just hugely important. That's how our relationship began, and that's what's sustaining it. So on that note, I would like to just encourage your audience to look at our exchange programs. They can find information on our website or on our Instagram. And I just want to say how much, again, I'm enjoying being in Bahrain, and thank you again.
Thank you very much, Linda. Thanks for joining us. That was Linda Mcmullen, the Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Manama, joining the Bahrain this week.